Hello, everyone. My name is Jake from Talk Too Much, and I wanted to introduce a new series called Underrated Gems. Now, at this time, I thought what better way to start than a good old classic Keanu Reeves 80s movie called Permanent Record. Now, I am a big fan of this movie, and for some reason, I thought I wouldn't be. I just thought it was just a simple teen drama starring Keanu Reeves, and it's right before he went towards the action side of his movies. And I will say I was shocked by this one the first time I watched it, and so I wanted to shine some light on this movie, give more of a thoughts on it, and try and push it out there. So maybe if this is the type of movie for you, maybe you'll get a kick out of it, or if you just want to see young Keanu Reeves being great. Here's a great film to start with. The plot behind this movie is about a story of a man who has everything in high school going right for him. The colleges he wants are right in his direction. He's doing great in school. He's got a great side gig with his band going. You know, he has the best life ever. And one day he just goes out with Keanu Reeves and they're at a party, and Keanu Reeves just takes a turn and looks back, and his friend's just gone. Just goes off a cliff. That's it. That is the whole movie. I will say I had immediate goosebumps from all of Keanu Reeves' reactions towards this and the way that they handled this story. It was very careful in the ways it needed to be, but also not glorifying the situation that happened. And that is something I can appreciate so much about this movie. So I love the way that this movie handled this subject matter. You're watching all these people, especially Keanu Reeves, going through the grief of losing someone. And it can always be kind of scary and kind of hard. And you have certain shows and movies like 13 Reasons Why that handled it horribly. This one did it right from the very beginning. This is not a movie where we're trying to exactly, see all the reasons why. The story is that you don't know the reason why. And you don't understand how someone can have their life going all for them, and then all of a sudden it just goes like that, and everybody around is just handling the devastation. Now, I know I mentioned Keanu Reeves quite a bit already, but he is such a standout. This is probably my favorite emotional performance that I've gotten out of the man. There's one scene where he goes to his best friend's house. He's driving around, he's drinking because he doesn't know how to cope with the situation, and he gives one of the best lines ever as he just hugs the man's father and says, I could have prevented this. I could have done something different. I was right there. I could have changed it. And my only gripe with that scene is not only did it emotionally affect me, but also I wanted more. I wanted to see Keanu Reeves have a sit down and just full on lose it. Because you lose your best friend. That's not something that you can just easily grab from and just move on with your life. And everybody just doesn't understand the grief that Keanu Reeves is experiencing in this movie, and it makes it for such a turn when you're watching all the people and stuff. They're trying to just figure out for Keanu what's the best way to help him, and there's simply not. There's nothing but an aftermath for this story. It's just so much. It's hard to even just put into simple words how the emotional aspect of this movie does such a great job. And that's why I'll put another positive on. Everybody understands the tone of the situation, and they keep it at that level where, yes, it's depressing, it's sad, but you have to have your actors and actresses match that tone the whole entire movie, or else it's going to go off the rails. And everybody did it perfectly. Everybody had their own way of trying to cope with this grief, trying to move forward. And watching everyone try to do that, it's no different than it is now. And so everybody's just performances outright were phenomenal. I got so much emotion. It very much reminded me, it was seen as I could see it as an influence for movies like Perks of Being a Wallflower, or just a lot of coming of age movies. And that's what I love so much about. I didn't feel like Keanu Reeves got there enough, and that's my tiny mixed positive. Is that I wanted more out of Keanu. I thought some scenes could have stretched a little bit longer. It felt like they did cut them a little too short, which I wasn't exactly the biggest fan of. But still, with the length time of this movie, it still nailed it perfectly. I have no complaints with any of that. I really just I dug all these characters, so um, it's really hard for me to have a negative feeling over how much this movie emotionally grabbed me. And so I have no negatives for this movie. There's no, I only have a few mixes. Like I said, it's watching this movie, it hit me to my core. And that's what I wanted out of this movie. And it's not what I expected, too. You don't go into some movies with a story like this and just think, it's probably another one of just a trashy Keanu Reeves movies right before he really hit to big. No, this was a man right before his prime, showing that he has what it takes to bring this emotion out of this character. I think it was right after Bill and Ted too. So to see that as well, it's just mind blowing. It is. So no negatives. If you want a good coming of age movie, just a good story in general, something that maybe you're just finishing up high school, or maybe you need a little bit of a comfort movie, as sad as this movie is, I could see it being many people's comfort movies. So check it out. It's called Permanent Record. And this is just an underrated gem I wanted to highlight. I'm going to probably try and make this a new series, throw on at least once a month, some out there. So check it out. I believe it's free to stream anywhere. Really, I think Tubi is where I watched this off of. It might be off by now, but definitely give this one a watch, and hope you guys tune in for the next video.